They say fire cannot rule a kingdom.
They say a woman's place is behind the throne, not upon it.
But centuries ago, in the heart of northern Nigeria, one woman defied every whisper, every law, every chain. Who was she?
A tyrant dressed in royal silk, or a hero born before her time?
This is the hidden truth of Queen Amina of Zazzau,
the warrior flame that refused to die. In the town of Zazzau, long ago, which is now called Zaria,
a lovely princess was born right next to the scorching sun of the desert.
Under the watchful gaze of fate itself, she had this name, Amina, daughter of a strong queen named Bakwaturinka.
As a little girl, she was unlike anyone else.
Amina was practicing her bow skills and mastering her sword.
She swung at the horses on the sandy tracks with the courage of a lioness. She sat down next to the best warriors of Zazzau and watched as they fought. At first, people laughed, but soon they could only stare in awe. As she played in the court, her laughter rang like a thunderstorm.
Amina fought alongside 10 men and didn't think about a husband. Instead, she envisioned a world where the north trembled at her name. The wise old men said that this girl was touched by the force of the thunder.
When Queen Bakwa, her mother, passed on to the afterlife,
the throne went to her brother, Karima. Amina's reign brought a brief moment of peace to Zazzau, but within the palace walls, the drums of fate were beating louder than ever.
The soldiers, merchants, and slaves knew the truth.
The true fire of strength couldn't be found in the king, it lay in Amina's heart.
They hung on to hope.
For the day they'd see the warrior princess rise, and the whole of the north would turn to her in fear. Amina did not wait for destiny to hand her a crown. She stepped into power the way she stepped into battle, with fearless precision, with the fire of someone who knew she had been shaped by the hands of fate.
In a world where women were expected to stay behind veils and palace doors,
Amina walked boldly into the sun, and when voices whispered that a woman could not live, she did not argue, she simply acted, and her actions were louder than any doubt. She trained with Zazzau's elite cavalry,
facing trials meant to break even the strongest man. But Amina did not bend. She cut through each challenge with a spear that seemed to dance in her grip.
By the time she reached adulthood,
her name traveled beyond Zazzau's walls, spoken with equal parts admiration and fear.
Even seasoned warriors stood straighter when she entered the room. She was not just royalty, she was a force.
So when the throne finally stood empty, she claimed it, not through birthright alone,
but through the thunder of proven victory,
through the loyalty of
soldiers who had followed her into
fire and returned triumphant. As queen, she refused the safety of palace shadows.
She led her armies herself, charging at the very front lines, armor blazing under the Sahel sun, scarlet cloak daring through the wind like a banner of rebellion.
To her warriors, she was more than a ruler.
She was the storm that carried them forward.
Kingdoms that once mocked her for being a woman soon learned the cost of underestimation.
Kano,
Katsina,
Nupe, one by one, their banners fell. One by one, their rulers bowed.
Across the north, people spoke of Zazzau's queen,
the woman whose strategies were as sharp as her blade. Her cavalry moved with terrifying speed, hoofbeats rolling like distant thunder across the Sahel. They left behind dust, awe, and a new understanding of power.
With every conquest, Amina redrew the map,
stretching Zazzau's influence farther than any leader before her. But conquest was only half her genius. Amina was a builder,
a queen who understood that empires thrived not only on victory, but on vision. She ordered the construction of massive defensive walls, stone fortresses that strengthened cities, and still stand today as silent monuments to her brilliance.
She opened new trade routes, linking kingdoms across the Savannah and the Sahara.
All flowed through Zazzau.
Salt, gold, horses, cloth, knowledge, transforming it into a hub of wealth and culture.
For 34 years,
Amina ruled with a balance few leaders ever achieve.
Wisdom in peace, fury in war,
discipline in governance, and a heart that beat relentlessly for her people. She was not merely a queen.
She was the pulse of an empire, a living testament to possibility, a reminder that power has no gender, and courage needs no permission. Before we uncover the mystery behind her legacy, remember stories like these are rarely told.
If you believe African history deserves to be seen,
hit that subscribe button and light the flame of discovery, because here,
we reveal the truth they never taught you. The vault is waiting. Subscribe now and help us turn the key.
Everywhere Amina conquered, she left behind her mark.
Not in gold, not in jewels,
not in treasures carried home from battle, but in walls.
Massive, towering fortifications that rose from the red earth like the spine of an ancient beast. She ordered fortresses built around every city she claimed. Circles of protection, symbols of authority, and warnings to anyone bold enough to challenge her rule. These walls were not mere defenses. They were declarations, bold statements carved into the landscape. Amina's way of saying, "This land now stands under my shield." Each fortress took days, sometimes weeks of labor. Thousands of hands shaping clay, stacking stone,
mixing mud with straw beneath the blazing northern sun.
And at the center of it all,
a queen whose footsteps the builders revered,
a commander whose presence demanded excellence. Over time, the people gave these structures a name. Ganyu Amina, the walls of Amina.
Her signature, her fingerprint upon the world. Many of these walls still stand today.
Weathered but unbroken, their edges softened by centuries of wind and sand, their foundations still gripping the earth with the strength she demanded.
Travel through northern Nigeria, and you will find them, silent but proud,
stretching across towns and villages,
guarding histories older than memory.
Lean closer, and you might hear the echo of marching soldiers, the ring of metal, the voice of a queen commanding her destiny. Each wall a monument, each gate a reminder
that a woman once stood here, fearless, unstoppable, a flame in human form.
And she feared no man, not then, not ever. But even legends are lonely.
Behind the clang of swords and the thunder of war horses,
there lived a woman whose heart was never truly at peace.
They say Queen Amina loved fiercely.
With the same fire she carried onto the battlefield.
But she trusted no one.
Not warriors, not courtiers,
not even the knight that cloaked her victories. Some tales whisper that she took lovers from conquered lands. Men who were drawn to her power, her brilliance, her untamed spirit. But none were allowed to see the dawn.
A cruel rumor, a jealous invention,
or a shield forged from survival.
Because the world she ruled was not built for a woman to lead,
and to wear a crown in such a world was to walk with shadows as constant companions.
Historians still debate her choices.
Was she protecting herself,
protecting her kingdom,
or simply defying a destiny that tried to shrink her? But one truth stands firm, unchanged by time or storytelling. Power, especially for women, has always come with the heaviest crown. In victory, she was worshipped.
In strategy, she was unmatched. But in the quiet moments, in the stillness between battles, she lived in a solitude few could ever understand. Amina of Zazzau conquered cities,
shaped empires, and carved her name into the earth. Yet in history, she was nearly forgotten, a legend made of strength.
And a loneliness the world never cared to see. As time passed, rebellion and betrayal crept into her empire.
Others say she vanished,
swallowed by legend itself.
But legends never truly die.
Across Nigeria and beyond, the echoes of her empire remain, in the stories of traders, in the wars that still guard villages,
and in the hearts of those who remember her fire. A queen who ruled like no other,
a woman who refused to kneel,
a warrior whose shadow still stretches across centuries. Empires rise, and empires fall.
Names are carved into history, then erased by time.
But some stories refuse to die.
Amina's flame still burns, in the courage of every woman who leads, in every warrior who defends their people,
and in every voice that refuses to be silenced. She was more than a queen,
she was a warning and a promise.
because no matter how many centuries pass,
No matter how much the world tries to bury Africa's legends,
Africa's story will keep unlocking the truth.
this is just one key to 1,000 hidden stories. Return for the next chapter. Come back and let's uncover another mystery together.